Hello and welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about nursery rhymes and kids songs. Let's focus on the wheels on the bus.
So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves.
Hello and welcome back to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about the wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round all through the town. So my little one is in, obviously, daycare, and he is awesome and he's learning so much, and the words are now starting to form into sentences, and thoughts are being put in there, and just I'll start counting, he'll say the next number, I'll start the alphabet, he gets down to some letters. It's just a really interesting time where so much information is coming at him so fast, and he's absorbing it and being able to communicate back to us. There's also a stage in here, right, where he's frustrated, where he can't communicate certain things that he wants to, and maybe even we feel he should be able to do, and we expect it. And there's a fine line, parents out there, between asking your kids to repeat stuff so that they get practice and asking them to say things when they're frustrated. So for instance, the other day my son was thirsty and he's like, milk, milk, milk. And I laugh now. It's not really funny. It's not something I approve of. It's just, it is what it is. It's not how I would handle it, but I have to support my wife in what she does, and I address it. It's just like, hey, he wanted water. He's saying milk because he doesn't really say water. He's just thirsty. So, and she's like, say water, and he's like, milk, and he's reaching for his sippy cup that's right in her hand, and she's saying, say water. And he's like, milk. Just give me something to drink. I'm dying over here. And he's not dying, but he will one day say water in its proper context. At the end of the day, he let us know that he was thirsty. So back to the wheels on the bus. And what made me think of this title, and it just so happened to happen about 4:30 in the morning the other day. He's been getting up early, hasn't been sleeping the best. He's in a little cranky, not eating certain foods. It's just a lot going on right now. And so he came into our bed. My wife brought him into bed about 4:30, and we're both trying to get back to sleep. And he's being quiet. He's not going back to sleep. And then I hear beep, beep, beep. Yeah, beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. So it's not audible, and before he got to the beep, 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 I was like, I think he's singing the wheels on the bus. And at 21 months, and I don't know when these things really start happening or where they really start singing or repeating, but I just started singing with him. And my wife was like, don't encourage him. I was like, why? I think this is awesome. It's so quiet. We're trying to lay in bed, and he's singing the wheels on the bus. And I just wanted to encourage him to continue to sing, because Daddy was impressed. We don't know where these stages come, and I'm actually going to shift this into, I was going to do another podcast about this, but it's kind of a short podcast. And the idea is just appreciate where they are. He's learning his ABCs, he's learning the count, he's learning his nursery rhymes, he's learning the wheels on the bus, but the fact that he's starting to repeat all this stuff at 21 months, for me, it's just awesome to watch the growth. We don't know when they're going to receive it. All we can do is repeat, pour into them. But I'll tell you another funny one is the older one. We were away a few weeks ago now, and he says, Dad, we were at a cabin up in upstate New York, and I was like down the driveway quite a ways, and I told him to put on his shoes. I was going to be somewhere. He couldn't see me through some trees, and from the back porch he yells, "Dad!" And I said, "What?" He's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm down the driveway, come on out." And he gets out to me, and see, it doesn't mean anything to you right now as you're listening to this, but it meant everything to me, as it was the first time ever that my son called me Dad and not Daddy. And I will forever remember that moment, that he was a little past 7.5, that he's growing up and becoming a little man, and he won't always call me Daddy, and I don't expect him to. It was actually a, man, he's growing up, proud papa moment, and man, he's growing up kind of sad, as that empty nest kind of thing feels like he's not my little boy anymore. But I'm so proud that I'm building him into a little man. So when I talk about nursery rhymes or wheels on the bus, look, I don't know jack about parenting, but every parent will tell you this: it goes by fast. And I think if we can try to capture those little moments for ourselves, if we can just grasp onto that for a moment and say, man, I never want to forget being up at the log cabin the first time he called me Dad. I don't want to forget that first time when laying in bed that I heard my son sing a song completely on his own, unprompted, and it happened to be Wheels on the Bus, and it was what the horn did, or however they say it. It goes beep, beep, beep. I don't want to forget those moments. So I encourage you, no matter what stage of life your kid's at, pay attention to those shifts and those subtleties in who they are and how they're growing up, because they're precious and they're amazing. And in my case, and I hope in your case, it's just amazing to watch their growth in a positive way. We'll see you in the next episode.
Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.